Well, I wanted first to say welcome everybody. Today we're going to be going over the time tracker module, and then we'll touch on the YOSS app. We'll go through the dashboard. We'll go through settings, barcodes. We'll go over how to set a schedule for locations and job codes or individual employees. Then also, like I said, we'll go through the YOSS app. Just kind of touch base what the YOSS app has become. I know it's fairly new, so we'll go over what the YOSS app has and what it offers. Let's begin. The first portion we'll go over is going to be the time tracker override. Essentially, this will allow you to view an individual employee's clock in, whether that's going to you want to override it or just strictly for viewing purposes. So it'll just start by searching any kind of employee's name, and then you can give it a date range. So I just want to see last month's. So we'll go through May 1st to the 31st. Once you have an employee selected and then a date range selected, this will allow you to display times. So we can see as Samantha has Samantha has the different week start and week end dates, and it'll show the recorded time and then the scheduled time that she has. The scheduled time does come from the schedule, so we'll go over that a little later on. But so it'll read the total amount of schedule that Samantha is assigned to. I'm going to display this number here. Recorded total is the amount of time that it recorded her, clocking in. So we'll choose this date right here, 5/24/26 to 5/30/26. When viewing this will allow you to download it as an Excel. So if you do want to see it as a spreadsheet version, you can, or as a PDF if you need to do any kind of print offs or anything like that. This will show that her start of the week will be from Sunday to Saturday. This will display all the dates pending for it. So I have the comments for the date of the 24th when she forgot to clock in. It was the job code that she was assigned to that day. So she was a bus monitor for today. She started her position at 4 o'clock from 7 a.m. and then from 7 a.m. to 4 p.m. She forgot to clock out, and does show her totals that was here as well. If you do allow here, if you are as a campus user, if you do have this setting, which we'll go over a little later, turned on, this will allow you to enable override. This will allow you to change any comments, change the job code, change the clock in or clock out time. And when you do, it will show a little audit trail as well, showing that I went in here and I have changed the reason who forgot to clock in. This will also allow you to add it. So maybe she forgot to say maybe she did work another job. You can go in here. She was a weekend custodian, and you can put the reasoning. She forgot to clock in and out. You can go in, put the clock in, clock out, or display the total here as well. Once you have made your changes that you need to make, it would show down here for the reason for override. You click save, and once you click save, so that's for a reason I want to get it. It would update this summary information for pay period. Like I said earlier, she is scheduled for 35 hours for this pay week. She only recorded 12 hours. She didn't have any leave time on here or any kind of total pay holidays. If she did, those days or those hours, will add up to this total hour slot. So it's going to look at these three fields right here and give you a total hours input right here. The total regular time is going to be pretty much this total hours here. If she was over this 35 hour range, it will show up for overtime. Anything under this 35 hour range will show short time. So she was scheduled for 35. She only clocked in for 12. So that's why it's showing, that she has 23 hours short. Then as you adjust this and as you change this, this will display it. Move right along. So we'll go over the bulk reports. And I'll give you a little bit of a quick summary description of them, as you would say, of each report and see how they may be useful for you guys. We have the combined clocked in. It's a day-by-day view, per employee. It'll show you scheduled times, recorded clock-ins, adjusted clocks, any kind of leave, also the comments as well. Days with no punch will show absent. So it's the most comprehensive, single view report you can have. You'll have next will be the absence report, or the missing clock in, as what it'll say as a description. It is one row per absence event. So it'll have show one employee for the location, contact info, the date, the scheduled time they missed, any associated leave, the number for it, the status, an example like it was no clock in, and then also the comment field if they leave a comment. It's useful for HR follow-ups for an unexcused absence or for cross-checking against the leave module to see if any days were covered by an employee when a leave was requested. Next will be the perfect attendance. It is a yes or no for perfect attendance, plus a comma separated list of dates absence and the dates they are late. So this will kind of show you who's late. We have raw clocks. Every punch as recorded, no schedule comparison, no rounding, column tags, how they are entered, manual batch clock in, door access import, etc. It's more like a forensics, view. Employees with no schedule. This will kind of almost allow you to see if there's any employees that are missing a schedule, so that way they can be assigned a schedule individually, or maybe you're missing and say, hey, I forgot to, we added a new job type. We need to add these schedules to them, to those employees, and to that job type. We have the override report. It's an audit trail of every override, employee admin who made it, the reason, the original version of it versus the new, the job code, the timeout, the total, the comment. This will pull for payroll disputes. So this will allow you to say, hey, no, I did work or I did clock in, or who adjusted it. This will be able to show you anything and everything. The before and after version. Next will be the summary report. It's a per employee time card view. It shows each row will show per day, the schedule, recorded, actual in and out time, adjusted in and out time, the week total, and the final total showing with the variance. There's also a second version of the summary report. Excuse me. It's the same as the first summary report, but with more of a richer weekly breakdown. So you have recorded, paid leave, holiday hours, total hours, regular time, overtime, and short time. So it's just more a defined summary version. It shows more different holidays and leave types. We have the short report, the second to last one. Anyone who worked less than the schedule in a short time. So if you had employees that are short on what they're supposed to be scheduled consistently, this should be able to show you as a report of that. And then lastly would be the outside geofencing attempt. It's a failed geofence clock attempts, employee attempted locations, as shows the longitude and latitude, the distance from the geofence, useful for catching off-site punches. So if somebody's clocking in and they're not supposed to. There's also a change in the setting, which we'll go over that as well, for the outside geofencing attempt. So that is going to be the bulk reports. And overall, really the dashboard. The first thing I want to get into is going to be the schedule editor before we go into settings. So to do that, I have to be in settings, schedule editor. The first radio option you'll choose by location or job code, and then secondly would be a location, job code, or override employees. So how would it work? Essentially, you'll choose location. You'll choose a location as well. So it's saying by central office location. So everybody assigned to a central office location, that schedule will follow under this location type. For job code, so every custodian with the same location, since this location is toggled on, every job code with the job code custodian, the same location will tie onto the schedule. So that is how it would work. If this were to be toggled to job code, then only employees with the matching job code will this schedule be applied to. Go to location, say, hey, I want every central office employee that has a central office location to change. We're going to edit. Right now they're clocking in. So everybody in the central office will clock in. We'll have a schedule for 7 o'clock clock in to 11:05. And then from 11 to 4, we need to change that. That needs to be to 11. So from 7 to 11, and then from 11 to 4, you can see the two different numbers right here. We can also go do an advanced schedule as well. What that means, this will break it down from the start of the pay week to the end. So you can go in, this would be more useful for if each day is different, then you can go in and change each individual day to what it needs to be. You can also make this a biweekly schedule. This will allow, so when's the schedule need to repeat? You can schedule week 1, week 2, week 3, or week 1 and then week 2. So you set a second schedule for the second week, and then once it hits the third week, it'll follow the week one schedule. You can also have the automatic clock in and clock out for lunch. You can have that checked off. So this will automatically, once they reach the first end of the period of the half a day, that will clock them out for lunch. And then we have the carry shift overnight. One thing I will go over for override employee. So this right here will disregard both job code and also location. This will be for a specific employee. So regardless of location or their job code, if you want this employee to follow this specific schedule, this is where you do it at. So we'll just type in any employee, split clock. So I know Samantha's is tied to a central location. So it's going to ignore her central location schedule that she is on, and this is going to give her a very specific schedule that she is going to follow. And this will show for only her. That is really schedule. So we'll go back into time tracker. And we're going to go review the settings now. First one will be the automatic sign out. Very straightforward. If you want employees to automatically sign out by a certain time, you'll enter this time here. If no time is inputted at all, or this is turned to no, if an employee does forget to sign out, this will allow the employee to time to stay running until the next time they go to clock in. When they go to clock in, when they make a clock in entry, it will clock them out, and then they'll have to do another clock in entry for them to clock it in. So my personal preference was to have this turn to yes, if you would like, and this will clock them out by whatever time you want them. If school ends by 4 o'clock and somebody forgets to clock out, say give them to at least 5. It's totally up to you what you want to do it for. Automatic reports, it's just same as the leave module. So if you're familiar with the leave module, you'll select any kind of report type that you want. So I want to see missing clock in. You will set step 1. Do you want to make this automatic clock in report? You want it yes. And then it'll time to send automatic report. So I want to get this report every day. Let's just say at 8 o'clock. I want this once a week. I want this every day. I want this every other week, or I want this monthly. Choose totally up to you. I want it every day at 8 o'clock. Step 4 is which campus users or HR users would you like to see this report? So you'll go in and say, I just want to give it to Jack. Jack needs to see it. Adam needs to see it. And Trent needs to see the same report. So Trent, Adam, and Jack are going to get this missing clock in report every day at 8 a.m. And then you'll hit save. And sign employee ID as a barcode. If you want the employee ID to, if you want the employee ID as a barcode, you click yes. If you do not, then a barcode will be generated. A random barcode will be generated. Here in the kiosk setting, this was a change that was done relatively recent. Both the whitelisting and the geofencing can now be toggled to both yes at the exact same time. The system will check for one, and if it does not see the other, it will fall back to the other one. So if both of these are turned on, it will check for your whitelist location. If it does not see any kind of white location or doesn't agree with it, then it will check for your geofencing and vice versa. Here's your optional comment. So this is turned on to yes. When they clock in or clock out, this will allow the comment box to appear, and they can enter any kind of comment field. This is the schedule discrepancy comment. So if they are clocking in early before their time, or they're clocking in late after their time, this will allow them to give an increment. So you can have by every 10, 20, you can have it by every hour. It's totally up to you. Excuse me, 60. Totally up to you. How do you want the discrepancy? If you don't want it, you can leave it blank. or you can have leave these toggled no. But if you are wanting to use it leaving early, so it's going to see if you're clocking in 60 minutes early, then it's going to have you require a comment. The two ways that the kiosk can log in is by date of birth and last name, or date of birth and employee number. So you have the two options you can choose between the two. This kiosk whitelist setting and both geofence setting. Won't touch too much into it. Most of your IT will kind of deal with this, but this will show you IP addresses. If you need to add a new IP address, you can. But this is what the IP addresses that it's going to look for when clocking in. If it doesn't see either one of these IP addresses, then it's going to look for the geofence setting. If both your settings are turned on, of course. And this is where you'll be able to allow to set your geofence setting for these different locations. All right. So automatically adjusting time. If yes, when the time when the time is logged in, it'll be automatically adjusted to the nearest increment provided. If no, then it will remain the original values. So if you do want to adjust times, you'll set the increments however you want it to be. So if I want this to be set to the nearest 5 minute mark. So if they clock in at 3:20 or clock out at 3:23 p.m., it's not going to read 3:23 p.m. It's going to read 3:25. Here is going to be the discrepancy report. Um, this will allow employees to essentially view the excluded from missing clock in and summary reports. If this is turned to yes, this report will be visible on the employee profile screen. If you do not want employees to see this on their profile, then just toggle this to no. Um, last setting is going to be campus user related. The first one is, do you want to allow campus users to override employees clock in and clock out for the location? If yes, then campus users can go to that first screen that we went to. They can be able to click enable override. They can go in and make their adjustments. It will monitor who made the adjustments, just like it showed it did for me. Or if you do not want them to have it, no. Second one is, do you want the same campus users that's making adjustments to be able to modify their own time in and clock outs? Yes, they will be able to go in. So if they want to go as themselves, make any adjustments for themselves, they can, or no, they cannot. That's going to cover all the settings. And then I'll go over barcodes real quickly. I know this is more just you deal with this mostly on the initial setup, but I'll touch base on it. Um, who do you want to create this barcode for? Be for individual employees, all active locations, or by job code. It's going to do all active. How do you want this barcode to look? Barcode only, barcode ID, or a batch template. Just say we want barcode only. We choose which one we want. And then how do you want the output format? Do you want? You can use by Excel, Word, or PDF. And once you've got what you like, we hit create barcode, and it'll show all created barcodes down here at the bottom. All right. That is the time tracker module in all of its different forms. If you guys have any questions on the time tracker module, you guys please go ahead and put any kind of questions you guys have. I know it's very straightforward, nothing extremely complicated about it. Give me just about a little bit of time. I'm going to transfer over to the YOSS app, and we'll review the YOSS app as well. And YOSS app is on my phone. Just give me just a second. Get this swapped over. All right. Perfect. You guys should be able to see my phone now. If you guys cannot see my phone, please let me know. All right. Cool. All right. YOSS app was essentially created for the time tracker module specifically. We wanted to give the abilities for employees to clock in and out on their phone instead of having to get to a computer or even a kiosk. They wanted to have a phone version of it. Um, so by clicking into time tracker, you can clock in or out. Shows the date that today's date, also the exact same time. And then my art setting was turned on, so I can leave a comment if I wanted to leave a comment. And then you can clock in or clock out. And then once you hit the clock in or clock out, it's going to ask for if you have any kind of specific job codes that you have. You can also view history, view more additions we have. So this should be the history of all the clock in and clock outs. Says job code, none were set when clocking in. The clock in time was also 8 o'clock to 12 p.m. And there's also another clock in from 1 to 5. So this is to show all the different ones. I think I had one. Yeah. This will show for Friday, Thursday, Wednesday, Tuesday, and Monday. I will make a note because I didn't say it when going over a time tracker. The enhancement has been highly requested, and it should be hopefully on production within the next week or two. But the ability to change from when the start date of the week will be. I know currently it's just the option from Sunday to Saturday, but you'll be able to select your start date, and then the end date will follow with it. So if you select Monday to Sunday, or you can have Tuesday to Monday, Friday to Thursday. You can set it however you want to set it up as, but that'll give you the ability. That'll be on Time Tracker soon. You can also filter by dates as well. So if I want to see clock ins from further dates, you sure can. And I'll show the filter on them. Also view schedule as well. So like I said, that you'll be able to change the days soon as far as the days of the week that you want your time to start. But this will show your schedule for the week, so employees can view their schedule and what they're coming up. This is more essentially for probably biweekly. Anybody has a custom schedule or maybe a biweekly schedule? They want to see what week they're falling on, and okay, for this week I'm working these times, and then for the following week it'll be something different. We have also added a few other different just quick PDF views that they can download. So you have e-stubs they can download, W2 they can download for ACA documents. I know she has an ACA document, so I can look at that. You can hit view PDF, and this will show you the ACA documentary here. Obviously, this is a demo employee. This is not real data or any kind of anybody's information, but be able to share it. You can message it, email it, depending on what your phone access has. You can download it as well and save to your phone files. Real quick, settings. You can have your profile. This will link to your profile settings that are on the website. So if you need to make any adjustments, they will show up here. You can change password and enable biometrics if your phone has that capability. And then these are just quick links. We are actively working on the YOSS app. Some more exciting things coming moving forward with it. I know it's very simple. It's mostly for clocking in and out, and it's viewing a few different documents, but more things are being added. So you'll see those updates as they come through. I'm gonna stop sharing my screen. So if anybody has any questions, please list them now. I'll give everybody just another minute or so. If they do have any questions, and we'll go over those. I do see one question was asked how accurate is the geofencing? It is fairly accurate. You can go in and if you want to, I can kind of show you guys. We have it for just set for our building specifically. Go in here and share my screen real quick. So, for example, so anything within the building, anything within this square area will allow them to clock in. The moment that they clock in, you know, probably discrepancy, maybe give it take maybe a few feet, but relatively it is within. So they definitely couldn't be on, West 4th Street and clock in. I know that for sure. They do have to be within this square, give or take maybe a few feet from it, but it is fairly accurate. All right. I don't see any more questions coming in. Well, I hope everybody has a great rest of their day, and I look forward to speaking to everybody next month. If y'all need anything, please don't hesitate to reach out to any one of us, and we're happy to help. Y'all have a good day.